It's true. Live long enough and you'll get arthritis, skin cancer, probably one of the common chronic diseases like CHF, COPD, diabetes. At All County Healthcare, we teach you how to manage your disease. We make sure you know how to take your medications and how to recognize signs and symptoms before requiring hospitalization, no matter how many visits it takes. You didn't move to Florida to be sick. You moved here to enjoy the rest of your life. And that's exactly what our team of nurses, therapists, and aides at All County Healthcare help you do.
The following programming is furnished by you and your doctor.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the You and Your Doctor show, sponsored by All County Healthcare. All County Healthcare is a Medicare-certified home health agency. We carry a 4.5-star rating by Medicare, which we are very proud of. Please call us anytime. We serve the public in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties, where we serve Medicare patients. Call us anytime, 954-717-7027. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. We have a very special guest. We are honored to have our very own Vice President of Business Development, Mr. Clayton Williams, here with us this evening.
Thank you, John.
Clayton, we are so glad to be able to get you here on the show to cover some of our areas that All County Healthcare, covers, and reintroduce you. Folks, if you remember, Clayton has been on the show before, but this show will be a platform for him to speak in more detail about what he does day to day for our company and the many hats that he wears. Clayton, like I said, is the Vice President of Business Development, and he has a very extensive background in healthcare. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Williams.
So I got started in healthcare in around 2011, 2012. I was like the last year of college for me. I was out in Texas, and I got a job in what was known as the scooter store. And you might remember those commercials. They come on like
Absolutely.
During the geriatric program and stuff. And the competitor to them was like Hover-Round. But they'd run their commercials, and I worked in the cash sales department for people who didn't qualify through their insurance. They would get transferred to my department, and we'd try to sell them, and we'd learn about their needs and see if they, if they wanted to purchase a power chair or scooter outright. So that was kind of my first foot in the door into healthcare. And shortly after that, that company got shut down. It was an unfortunate lawsuit. And I came over to South Florida. That was 2013 when I moved back. I was raised in the west coast of Florida in Sarasota. And when I came back, I got an offer down in South Florida to come do home health care. Didn't know what that really was. They told me they were going to teach me. And I've been here ever since. Been almost 10 years.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. And I can only imagine, starting off with a company like the scooter store really gave you a good foundation on how to connect with seniors and the background and the fundamentals of home health care, especially for seniors that had a variety of different comorbidities or disabilities.
Yeah, I mean, these people that would have been calling the scooter store, they needed like a power chair or like a scooter. And you might see them zipping around the nursing homes or the assisted living facilities. So yeah, you're right. I mean, these people would be just recently diagnosed, or they would be reaching a part of their life where they needed that extra mobility. And so, yeah, it was very much so overlapping with home health and the nursing home.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's fabulous. So let me ask you, backing up a little bit, going back to maybe your upbringing, tell us a little bit about maybe your family or what kind of background your family may have had in healthcare. It's a very interesting story.
Yeah, so I kind of think of myself as the hybrid between my mom and my dad, because my dad was like a businessman. My mom was like a nurse my entire life. She was a OB nurse on the same hospital, same floor where I was born. And then when I was a younger guy, before I, like right around teenage years, she became a psych nurse. And then she was a psych nurse through the rest of her career. But her mother was a nurse, and my other grandmother, my dad's mother, was also a nurse. So I'm kind of like the blended version of those two, I guess.
Oh, that is just fascinating. It really is. And so I know personally, because I work with you every day and I see you wear so many different hats, I know that with All County Healthcare, you are constantly facilitating business with new doctors and following up with patient care. Tell us a little bit about your typical day, because we also know that you do work on the private duty side with our All County Staffing Agency, which does a wonderful job at providing home health aides and CNAs into people's homes. So tell us, if at all possible, what your typical day might entail.
Yeah, so I would say that no one day is the same. It really depends on the day. Like, for example, tomorrow we have a couple appointments, so I'll be inside the doctor's offices and meeting up with those guys, out with some reps in the field. And if it's more of an office day, it might just be connecting with all parts of the team. You know, at a home healthcare agency, you have your nurses who are out in the field, you have your marketers who are out in the field, and then you really have the core of the support that's inside the office. So sometimes there might need to be that operational piece in between that communicates to all parties on the healthcare continuum that we're providing for the patient. But so we offer skilled services, and that would be for a doctor that writes us prescription, and we need to go out and perform a service for a patient like wound care or IV antibiotics. But the other side of our business, for anyone listening out there, is that if you just need an aide or a companion, or if you even needed a nurse around the clock and you were able to provide that for yourself, we offer that at All County and American Staffing. So we can provide any of our patients with round-the-clock caregivers.
That is just so reassuring to know. Folks, we are here with Mr. Clayton Williams, the Vice President of Business Development from All County Healthcare. And All County Healthcare is a Medicare-certified home health agency serving clients in the Tri-County area. We serve Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties. We can be reached anytime at 954-717-7027. And Mr. Clayton Williams is telling us about his typical day with All County Healthcare. We also have sister companies of All County Staffing that provides private duty services to individuals in the Tri-County area, American Staffing being that covers Palm Beach County. We really, really appreciate all the efforts of our caregivers. We can't say enough about them. And while I'm on that subject, I do want to let you folks know, if you know any caregivers, any CNAs, any HHAs, RNs, LPNs, and even physical or occupational therapists, All County Healthcare is certainly recruiting and accepting a wonderful variety of these healthcare providers. You can call us anytime. You can either ask for Andrea Rodriguez, who is our HR director. You can reach her at 954-717-7027. Please have your resumes ready. Andrea is available and very happy to receive these resumes. we would love for you to be part of the wonderful caregiving team with All County Healthcare. And coming back to Mr. Williams here, so tell us specifically, what type of services does All County Healthcare provide for its patients?
We're a full service agency, so by law we have to be able to provide for what the doctor orders. And so a little bit about what some orders that we might get on a typical day would be wound care, all different levels. I mean, they stage these wounds from level 1 all the way up to level 4. And they'll take a different type of caregiver depending on how severe the wound is. It could be IV antibiotics. It could be a patient who just got out of, like, say, an ortho surgery, so knees, shoulders, hips. And it could also be some more technical stuff. If a patient's switching a blood thinner medication, we might do something called Coumadin bridging. So it might be transitioning them before a surgery or after a surgery. So it's really loaded. We like to say we can really provide whatever the doctor orders and throws our way. We look at it, we review the case, and we do our best. We got that 4.5 star like you alluded to earlier, so we're really proud of that. So those scores are publishable. They're published, and everyone can see the type of care that we offer.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we do appreciate that. And like Mr. Williams said, All County Healthcare provides all these services, and these services are covered by Medicare Part B for all those patients that and the loved ones that are overseeing these patients' care. These are things that are covered, like I say, by traditional Medicare, and we are happy to provide these services to you. You can call us anytime to discuss anything with a case manager. We have several clinical case managers that work in the office. Of course, you can reach us at 954-717-7027. So why would you say specifically would somebody want Medicare services, and what might they need to have available in order to qualify for these Medicare home care services?
Just like you say, it's a traditional A and B Medicare. That's what the majority of agencies are gonna take. And then if you have, say, an HMO, say if you've enrolled yourself into a Humana or an Aetna plan, you'll most likely you have to go through your insurance plan to see what agency that they're contracted with in your area.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's very important. And like we said, folks, we understand that healthcare insurance and Medicare and coverage can be confusing, and that's why, of course, we're here to answer any of your questions. You can call us anytime. We have several clinical case managers in the office that can answer your questions and provide you the right steps in order to take to get these coverage taken care of. So, folks, once again, we're here with Mr. Clayton Williams, the Vice President of Business Development at All County Healthcare. Mr. Williams has an extensive background in healthcare, starting when he used to work for the Scooter Store, moving all the way up through the ranks of the Medicare home healthcare agencies, and ultimately landing with us. We feel very fortunate to have him with All County Healthcare. He wears many hats with All County Healthcare. He also helps with the private duty side, which is covered by All County Staffing and American Staffing, two private duty agencies that will provide home health aides and CNAs to go into your loved one's home to provide care for them. So we talked a little bit about recruiting more nurses and therapists. How might somebody go forward in applying for a position? Of course, we can have them reach out to our HR director, Andrea Rodriguez, which can be reached at our phone number, or you can always email her your resume at andrear@allcountyhealthcare.com. But how might some other therapists or nurses in the area reach out and find out more information, Mr. Williams, about applying for any of these positions?
Well, if you see any of our boots on the ground staff out in the field, any of our marketers or our nurses. If you see any of us, please feel free to reach out. You can visit us at www.allcountyhealthcare.com. And we've got postings on the various platforms, Indeed, and we're on LinkedIn. So
Excellent.
We're trying to be seen.
Excellent. That's very important, folks. We are on Indeed, LinkedIn. You can read more information about us or go onto our interactive website, www.allcountyhealthcare.com. And you can also reach out to us directly at 954-717-7027. Folks, we're going to take a little break, talk to our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Mr. Clayton Williams, Vice President of Business Development for All County Healthcare. Thank you.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. Always puts the patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Folks, welcome back to the You and Your Doctor show, sponsored by All County Healthcare. All County Healthcare is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing care to our seniors and beyond in the Tri-County area. We provide services to Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade counties. Please call us anytime at 954-717-7027 or check out our interactive website at www.allcountyhealthcare.com. And once again, folks, thank you for joining us this evening here in South Florida. We are here with Mr. Clayton Williams, the Vice President of our Business Development here at All County Healthcare. Mr. Williams wears multiple hats with our company. He not only is the Vice President for All County Healthcare, but he also helps with our private duty companies, All County Staffing and American Staffing. So going back to speaking to nurses and therapists that might be interested in a position with All County Healthcare, are there any specialty requirements for these caregivers coming to All County Healthcare, a Medicare certified home health agency, that you might want to touch upon?
It's a good question. I would say that, for them to feel comfortable, we do have a good training program and an orientation. And we've got nurses since I've joined All County where they've come and they've gone 0 to 1 with us, where they've never had that home health experience, but we provided that exposure to them. And I would say the thing that I would think about if you're a nurse coming on is just what areas that you want to work in, what skills can you provide in terms of like what kind of patients do you want to see, and is there any patients that you don't want to see? And we are in a WellSky environment, so our software is from Kinzer, and that always helps when they have some knowledge of the EMR system that we use.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that is it's very informative, folks. And like I mentioned earlier in the show, we are actively recruiting. We're looking for wonderful caregivers, whether you're an RN, an LPN, a physical therapist, occupational, even a speech therapist, or a home health aide. We are looking for these wonderful caregivers to join our team. We have a wonderful program. We have wonderful benefits. We are happy to bring you in, interview you, answer any questions you might have. We ask you to please feel free to reach out to our HR director, Miss Andrea Rodriguez. Andrea can be reached at 954-717-7027 during regular business hours, or feel free to email her anytime at Andrea, ANDREAR, like Andrea Rodriguez, at allcountyhealthcare.com. Please feel free. You can also learn more about our agency in our interactive website at www.allcountyhealthcare.com. We are flexible, folks. Know that we will sit you down. We'll find out what areas you're interested in working geographically. We're very flexible. We're looking for nurses and therapists in all areas, starting all the way up in as north as Jupiter in Palm Beach County, floating down to the wonderful city of Boca Raton and far beyond. We cover all Broward County, and we go all the way down to Miami-Dade. So if you live or would like to work in any of these areas, please feel free to reach out to us, All County Healthcare. We're happy to have you join our team. You can reach us at 954-717-7027. And getting back to Mr. Clayton Williams. So what would you say, Mr. Williams, are some of the new trends in home health care? Because we live in a society where things are happening very quickly, and home health care is definitely a part of this. What would you tell our listening audience some of the new trends that you're seeing develop in home health care specifically?
I think people are making their decisions from like the higher levels. They're looking at value-based care, so they're really taking a look heavy at the scores of the various agencies, and they're putting them in these like kind of like group packages or these bundles where they only want to refer to people that are vetted from, say, like a hospital perspective. In just like Palm Beach alone, there's 300 to 400 agencies, so they have an obligation to make sure that they are referring patients to the most appropriate agencies based on what they have going on with them. So I guess that would be the best trend. It's just value all around in terms of the Medicare dollars that we're spending down to the efficiency of the agency.
Well said, well said. And folks, remember, All County Healthcare carries a 4.5-star rating out of 5 by Medicare. We are very proud of that. We have many, many team members that have been very instrumental in getting us this rating, and we are very, very happy to provide that care for you or your loved one. So please keep that in mind. We're happy to provide this care, and we will continue moving forward and providing the very best care for the highest quality of life for you or your loved one. Are there any suggestions, Mr. Williams, that you would make in our ever-changing environment if you were to sit on a board or make suggestions to the healthcare community down here in South Florida?
It's a good question. It's I like to say that I'm optimistic in that I think things are changing for the better. One thing the government's always doing is they're looking at the amount of money that's spent. But a little maybe not so well-known fact is that home health makes up only 2% of the entire Medicare budget. And so I think that if they wanted to reduce cost or perhaps save money for the entire system, we could start thinking about relying on like home health more than we do now. So I don't know exactly what I could offer to change, just being like a little guy. but I think about how can we get the most out of our money as a society, and I think they're really going to be looking at those programs more as an alternative to maybe some of the nursing homes to get patients more care than they otherwise would have gotten.
Oh, excellent. I like that answer. And we do value that. I think that, we need to provide the best care, and we need to take a broader look at all these. So, Mr. Williams, on another note, as folks, we are winding down our time. Tell us a little bit about any of your hobbies or passions you like to follow when you're outside of the workplace.
I am a musician, so I play a little bit of guitar, and I'm mainly a drummer, but have been my whole life. So I think when I'm not working, I'm probably reading up on financial news information or playing some music, with just socializing with the friends.
Very nice. Well, it's always nice to learn, about other sides, because, folks, we work hard, and everybody deserves to have a hobby or a passion, and we live in a wonderful society here down in South Florida where you can, do many different things, enjoy yourself, and we can't be gladder to have you on our team. Mr. Clayton Williams, Vice President of Business Development here with All County Healthcare. I want to thank everybody for joining us again for another informative episode of our You and Your Doctor radio show. All County Healthcare is the sponsor for this show. We've been going strong over 5 years. Thank you, folks, and have a good night. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422, and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life.